Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here's the truth. No one can make you angry. They can provoke you, insult you, disrespect you, even betray you. But the anger? That part belongs to you. You create it, you feed it, and you have the power to silence it. That's not weakness. That's control. That's strength. Most people go through life thinking anger is a reaction. They think it's automatic, inevitable. But the Stoics knew better. They knew anger is a choice, a habit of the mind. And like any habit, it can be broken, replaced, and reshaped. This isn't just a motivational video. This is a call to emotional war, a path to freedom. Because if you're tired of people pushing your buttons, if you're done giving your peace away to people who haven't earned a second of your energy, then it's time to rise. It's time to stop reacting and start ruling. The world will test you. That's guaranteed. People will talk. They'll misunderstand you. They'll cross your lines and question your worth. But that doesn't mean they control your emotions, unless you hand them the keys. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled not only an empire but his own mind, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That quote is not philosophy. It's fire. It's the foundation of every Stoic warrior's mindset. You do not control what happens, but you control how you meet it. And when you meet chaos with calm, insults with indifference, and betrayal with balance, you don't just survive, you dominate. So, if you're ready to reclaim your strength, if you're ready to protect your peace like a fortress, if you're ready to stop being triggered by fools and start living like a master of your emotions, then stay with me. Because what I'm about to share are 9 powerful Stoic principles to make you emotionally untouchable. You'll walk away with strategies, insights, and clarity. This is how you rise. This is how you win the war within. Let's go. Number 1. Understand this truth. Anger is a choice. Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This isn't just a quote. It's a cornerstone of Stoic strength. It's a mental sword, and it slices through the lies your emotions try to tell you. The truth is simple, but it hits deep. Anger is not something that happens to you. It's something you choose. Most people don't want to hear that. They want to believe that other people make them angry. But that's the mindset of a slave, someone who has handed their power to the outside world. Let's break it down. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your heart jumps, your jaw clenches, and instantly your mind screams, "They disrespected me." But what's really happening? Did that person actually attack your worth? Or did your interpretation of their action create the attack in your mind? Now flip the script. Same situation. Someone cuts you off. But this time, you say to yourself, maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they're distracted. Maybe it has nothing to do with me at all. Feel that. The fire never starts. The storm never forms. Your mind didn't take the bait, and your peace stays intact. This is not weakness. This is power. Because when you realize that your interpretation creates your emotional state, you become the gatekeeper of your mind. No one enters without permission. No one controls your internal world unless you let them. The Stoics believed that nothing external should disturb the tranquility of your soul. That includes people's words, mistakes, or judgments. Marcus Aurelius trained himself daily to remember that other people will act selfishly, foolishly, rudely. But that doesn't mean you have to. He reminded himself, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. but I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own. When you internalize this, anger loses its grip. Why? Because it's no longer about you. It's about them, their pain, their weakness, their lack of awareness. And you? You are free. You've paused. You've reflected. You've chosen not to give your energy to chaos. That pause is everything. It's the space between trigger and reaction. And inside that space is your power. Train it. Protect it. Expand it. The world doesn't need another person ruled by emotion. It needs someone who can walk through fire with calm in their eyes. Be that person. Anger is not a reaction. It's a decision. Make the decision to rise above. Number 2. Practice. The Stoic art of negative visualization. Seneca said, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." This isn't fear-mongering. It's psychological armor. It's the Stoic way of bulletproofing your mind by anticipating life's hits before they land. Negative visualization isn't about being cynical. It's about being prepared. It means visualizing setbacks before they happen, not to live in fear, but to train your response. Imagine being insulted. Imagine being overlooked. Imagine facing betrayal or delay or disrespect. And now imagine responding with absolute calm. Why? Because you saw it coming. This is the Stoic's edge, emotional rehearsal. Before the day begins, walk through the chaos in your mind. Picture the coworker who tests your patience, the driver who tailgates, the loved one who misunderstands you. Rehearse it, not to make yourself suffer in advance, but to blunt the edge of surprise. Because surprise is the seed of anger. You're not angry because something happened. You're angry because you didn't expect it. You thought people would be fair. You thought life would go your way. You thought everyone would treat you like you treat them. And when they don't, you erupt. But the Stoic expects imperfection. The Stoic walks into life armored with the knowledge that rudeness, rejection, delay, and chaos are all part of the game. And when it hits, they're not shaken. They're ready. You don't train in battle. You train before the battle begins. Negative visualization is mental conditioning. It's building calluses on the mind. It's stepping into the arena with your sword drawn and your shield raised, not hoping everything goes your way, but knowing you can handle it when it doesn't. Imagine losing your job. Imagine someone betraying your trust. Imagine failing in public. Not because you want those things to happen, but because if they ever do, you'll face them with poise, not panic. That's what Seneca meant. If you've already met the enemy in your mind, you don't fear him in reality. So, how do you practice it? Each morning before you begin your day, close your eyes and imagine the worst-case scenario for the common stressors in your life. Someone talks down to you. Someone spreads a rumor. You're disrespected in public. Now breathe. Visualize yourself handling it with composure. Calm. Still. Unbothered. Do it daily. This is not weakness. This is strategy. This is preparation. And preparation is the ultimate antidote to emotional chaos. Expect the insult. Expect the delay. Expect the disappointment. And when it arrives, greet it like an old friend. Smile and say, "Ah, I knew you'd be here." Because you did. That's the power of negative visualization. It removes the shock, reduces the sting, and reminds you you are always in control of your response. You don't fear the storm when you've already walked through it in your mind. Number 3. Detach your self-worth from others' behavior. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." That's not denial, that's power. Because the truth is, most of the anger we feel isn't about the action. It's about the meaning we attach to it. Someone ignores you, disrespects you, mocks you, and instantly your mind says, "I must not matter. I must not be good enough." And just like that, your worth becomes a courtroom, and you let the world sit on the jury. But the Stoic knows better. The Stoic knows that anger only arises when you allow others to define your value. And that is the first chain you must break. You don't get angry because of what someone did. You get angry because you let what they did shape how you see yourself. But your self-worth is not fragile. It's not negotiable. It doesn't fluctuate with someone's opinion or reaction. It is rooted in your character, your integrity, your actions, your values. You can't control whether someone respects you, but you can control whether their disrespect touches you. You can't control if someone lies about you, but you can control whether that lie enters your identity. Detach. Let them talk. Let them hate. Let them misunderstand. That's their story, not yours. You don't need to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't need to avenge every insult or prove your value to anyone. Because once you start fighting for your image, you've already lost your peace. This doesn't mean being passive. It means being immovable. The oak tree doesn't shout back at the wind. It stands, quiet, strong, rooted. That's how you must live. With confidence that doesn't need to announce itself. With a sense of worth that can't be shaken by someone else's weakness. The Stoics taught that the only thing truly yours is your character. Everything else, your reputation, your status, your appearance, is external. And if your happiness depends on the external, then anyone can control you. But if your peace is internal, then nothing can touch it. Not their anger, not their gossip, not even their betrayal. Because it doesn't matter what they do. What matters is what you do next. So when someone insults you, pause. Smile if you can, and say to yourself, "This is not about me," because it's not. Their behavior is a mirror of their inner world, not yours. Their rudeness reflects their chaos. Their hate reflects their insecurity, and their judgment reflects their pain. It's not your job to fix it. It's your job to remain unshaken. Never hand over your peace in exchange for validation. Never make your self-worth a reaction to someone's brokenness, and never let their immaturity pull you out of your power. This is the Stoic mindset. Stillness in the storm, pride without arrogance, confidence without noise. It is knowing who you are so deeply that no one else's behavior can convince you otherwise. That's not indifference. That's unbreakable self-respect. And that's how you become untouchable. Number 4. Shift from ego to purpose. Most anger doesn't rise from injustice. It rises from ego, the desire to win an argument, the urge to defend your image, the need to be seen, heard, and validated. But that's the trap. The ego is never satisfied. It will always find something to be offended by, something to protect, something to prove. And every time you react in anger, you're not defending your peace. You're feeding your ego. That's not strength. That's slavery. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. When you shift from ego to purpose, you stop caring about how things look and start focusing on how things are. You stop fighting to be right and start living to be effective. Because purpose doesn't need to be loud. Purpose doesn't need applause. Purpose just moves, quiet, clear, and unstoppable. So, the next time someone disrespects you, ask yourself, is this worth my mission? When a coworker mocks you, when a stranger hurls a comment, when your pride flares up, pause. Take a breath and ask, does this get me closer to who I want to be? Because often, The most powerful move is not to clap back, but to walk away. The ego wants to win the moment. Purpose wants to win the life. Real strength isn't in domination, it's in discipline. The man who can walk away from a fight he could have won simply because it's beneath his purpose. That's power. That's control. That's freedom. The Stoics knew that ego is noise. It distracts. It distorts. It demands attention. But purpose is quiet. It doesn't care about insults. It doesn't react to pettiness. It has one focus, the mission. And when you live with that kind of focus, you stop taking things personally. You stop reacting to every jab. You don't have time to be offended. You have work to do. You have a higher calling. Seneca said, "No man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom is a choice, and so is purpose. You choose to let go of the ego's craving for recognition. You choose to stay above the noise. You choose the long game over the cheap win. And that's how you become untouchable. You're not here to be respected by everyone. You're here to respect yourself. You're not here to win every argument. You're here to win your life. And that means knowing when to speak, and when silence is the real power move, when to defend yourself, and when your peace is the only thing worth protecting. Lead with purpose. Let the rest fade." Number 5. Reframe conflict as training. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is not just a poetic line. It's a warrior's mindset. It means the obstacle is not something to avoid. It is your path. The resistance you face, that's the very pressure that forges your power. The people who test your limits, they are not enemies. They are trainers. You want to never be angry again? Then stop seeing conflict as a curse. Start seeing it as your curriculum. When someone interrupts you, when someone disrespects you, when life doesn't go your way, that is not an attack. It's a training ground. It's your emotional gym. And every rude person is a weight to lift. Every offense is a punch to block. Every challenge is a call to sharpen your calm, deepen your control, and elevate your focus. The Stoics didn't ask for easier lives. They built stronger minds. They trained like this daily, preparing themselves not just for physical hardship, but for emotional battle. They knew that the true war is within, not against the world, but against the part of you that wants to explode, complain, or fold when things get tough. And here's the secret. The more you train, the less you react. The more you reframe conflict as training, the more powerful you become. You stop seeing people as threats and start seeing them as mirrors, reflecting what still needs work inside you. Someone makes a passive-aggressive remark. That's your cue to breathe. A driver cuts you off. That's a rep in patience. Your coworker tries to provoke you. That's a chance to flex your silence and composure. You are not fragile. You are not a victim of your surroundings. You are a warrior in training. And every stressful moment is a test of your inner strength. Fail it? That's feedback. Pass it? That's progress. Either way, you grow. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." So stop running from the hard moments. Lean into them, welcome them, use them. When someone frustrates you, thank them in your mind. They just gave you another chance to build mastery over your emotions. Another representative, another step, another win. This is how you build unshakable calm, not by living in a perfect world, but by becoming a stronger person. Conflict doesn't break you anymore. It builds you. You're not waiting for peace to find you. You're forging it every day, in every moment, with every breath. So the next time life tries to trigger you, smile. You're not being attacked. You're being sharpened. You don't avoid the battle. You train in it. because you know. This is how warriors are made. Number 6. Journal to drain emotion, not dump it. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his famous meditations for an audience. He wrote them to himself, a warrior writing to his soul, a general disciplining his mind, a man confronting his own chaos with calm. That's the power of journaling, not as a diary of complaints, but as a battlefield for clarity. Stoics didn't run from emotion. They faced it, but they didn't project it onto others. They didn't lash out, shout, or spiral. They sat with it, reflected on it, wrote through it, because they knew this. Unprocessed emotion is not strength. It's instability waiting to explode. If you want to master your anger, your irritation, your emotional storms, you must learn to face them head on. And there is no greater tool for that than the page. Journaling is a form of self-respect. It's you saying, before I speak it, I'll see it. Before I unleash it, I'll understand it. Anger is often a fog, but when you write, that fog clears. You start to see the real reasons. You see your ego flaring up. You see your fears being triggered. You see patterns you never noticed before. And once seen, they lose their power. Write honestly, brutally, if you must. Don't write to sound wise. Write to get free. Ask yourself, what triggered me today? Why did I react that way? What belief did I hold that made me feel attacked? Was it even true? This is emotional alchemy. You take raw emotion and you refine it into wisdom. And no, it's not weakness to write it down. It's not soft. It's strategy. It's mental training. It's emotional weightlifting. You are taking control. You are not suppressing emotion. You are examining it, learning from it, and then releasing it without destruction. Most people vomit their emotions on others. Stoics purify theirs on the page. One leads to chaos. The other leads to control. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And he was right. Journaling brings those imagined fears into the light. And when you see them clearly, you realize many of them were illusions, stories you told yourself, lies your ego whispered. But once written, once faced, they begin to dissolve. Journaling is a mirror. It shows you who you are, but it also shows you who you could be. It's a quiet discipline that turns emotional chaos into structured thought. It transforms reactivity into reflection, and reflection into real strength. So, don't dump your emotion on the world. Drain it through the pen. Find the pattern, break it, rewire your response. This is how Stoics become unshakable, not by denying emotion, but by disciplining it. You can't change what you won't face, so face it in writing. Then, let it go. Number 7. Don't expect peace from a chaotic world. Here's a brutal truth. The world does not owe you peace. It doesn't owe you kindness, fairness, or understanding. People will be selfish. Systems will be broken. Life will be unpredictable. And if you base your emotional state on external stability, you will live in constant disappointment, frustration, and anger. But the Stoics knew better. They never expected the world to play nice. They never expected things to go smoothly. And because they didn't expect peace from the world, they weren't shaken when the world delivered chaos. They trained their peace to come from within. Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our opinion about them." What opinion do you hold? That people should never lie, that traffic should never exist, that every email should be answered on time, every friend loyal, every moment free of stress? If so, you're at war with reality, and that war will drain you. Real strength is built when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, when you stop outsourcing your calm to a world that is anything but calm. The traffic jam isn't the problem. It's your belief that it shouldn't be there. The rude customer isn't the problem. It's your belief that people must always be polite. The world is not chaotic because it's broken. It's chaotic because it's human. It's alive. It's unpredictable by nature. Accept this, and you free yourself. Imagine walking into a storm expecting sunshine. Of course you'll be upset. But what if you walked into that storm prepared, raincoat on, mind centered, heart steady? The rain doesn't rattle you anymore. You expected it. That's what the Stoic mind does. It prepares, it accepts, it adapts. Seneca wrote, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he is not." The wise man doesn't beg the world to change. He changes his inner world to handle what is. He expects noise, but stays quiet inside. He expects betrayal, but stays loyal to his values. He expects pain, but holds on to purpose. That's how you rise above the chaos. Your calm must come from principles, not preferences. Your peace must be grounded in discipline, not convenience. Because there will always be a new trigger, a new delay, a new betrayal. But if your foundation is rooted in reason, in virtue, in resilience, then nothing can shake you. You become unbothered, not because life is easy, but because your character is unbreakable. Stop expecting peace from the world. Expect challenge, expect adversity, but more importantly, expect yourself to rise above it. That's where real power lives, not in controlling the storm, but in becoming the one who walks through it untouched. The world will not change for you, so change how you move through the world. Your calm is not out there, it's within. Find it, train it, guard it. Number 8, build an unshakable routine. A calm mind doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's built, day by day, habit by habit, choice by choice. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is the foundation of it. If you want to be unshakable, if you want to live above anger and chaos, then you must construct your life with intention. You must anchor your peace in the structure of your daily routine. Marcus Aurelius didn't stumble through his days. He journaled, he reflected, he trained his body and his mind. He ruled an empire and still made time to master himself. Most people get angry, not because of what others do, but because of the disorder within. They wake up late, they eat poorly, they scroll endlessly. They live reactively, not deliberately. And that internal chaos leaks into everything, into their thoughts, their relationships, their emotional responses. The Stoic knows better. Build a morning routine that centers you. Wake before the world demands anything from you. Move your body with discipline. Breathe with awareness. Read something timeless. Write what you fear. Face your mind before the world tries to shape it. Seneca said, "No man was ever wise by chance." Wisdom is not an accident. Calm is not a coincidence. You don't wake up one day unbothered. You train for it. You carve it out through rituals that anchor you in purpose. Your routine doesn't have to be complicated, but it must be intentional. Because without structure, you drift. And when you drift, you become vulnerable to everything. Every comment, every delay, every slight. But with structure, with a routine built around your highest values, you create a stronghold for your mind. You walk into the world already centered, already solid. A strong routine is not a prison, it's a launch pad. It's the difference between reacting emotionally and responding with power. It's the armor that keeps you focused while others spiral. It's the inner rhythm that makes you immune to the world's noise. Build rituals that protect your peace. Stack habits that sharpen your self-control. Let your routine be your training ground, where you forge calm, cultivate strength, and master the war within. Because once your inner world is ordered, the outer world can do what it wants, and you will not be moved. Number 9. Remember memento mori. This moment is all you have. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. Not to frighten you, not to depress you, but to wake you up. The Stoics used this truth like a blade, to cut through illusion, to slice away distraction, to pierce through ego and anger and drama. Because when you remember that your time is limited, everything petty fades. Every insult becomes irrelevant. Every delay loses its sting. You begin to see clearly what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. You don't have time to stay angry. You don't have energy to waste proving points or holding grudges. Life is short, and every second you spend in rage, in resentment, in reaction, is a second you'll never get back." Most people live as if they're guaranteed decades, as if they can afford to burn whole days being upset. But the Stoic knows, tomorrow is not promised. This breath might be your last. That's not morbid. That's clarity. Memento mori doesn't paralyze you. It frees you. It shakes you out of your emotional sleep and reminds you, you're alive now. Use it. So, when someone disrespects you, pause. Zoom out. Ask yourself, if I died tonight, would this be worth my energy? The answer is almost always no. You were not born to be bitter. You were not born to waste your days in cycles of emotional chaos. You were born to rise, to create, to serve, to grow, to live fully, right now. And that means letting go quickly, forgiving easily, moving with power, not pettiness. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Don't waste yours. Let memento mori be the fire that burns away your anger. Let it remind you that this moment, this heartbeat, this breath, is sacred. And when you truly grasp that, when you live with that kind of urgency, you stop being bothered by noise. You start living with purpose. So, next time anger rises, pause. Remember death. Then choose life. Become unbothered. If you want to be free, really free, you must master yourself. The world will test you. People will push you. Emotions will rise. But now, you know the truth. Anger is not something that happens to you. It's something you allow. Emotion is not your enemy. It's your training ground. Peace isn't found out there. It's built within. And real power? It's not about control over others. It's control over yourself. Let the world gossip. Let them judge. Let circumstances shift like the wind. You stay rooted. You stay sharp. You stay still inside the storm. Because you are no longer a servant to your impulses. You are no longer disturbed by what doesn't matter. You've trained your mind. You've tempered your spirit. You've chosen strength over reaction, wisdom over noise. This is the Stoic path. This is how you become untouchable. Not because life stops being hard, but because you stop being shaken. You've just taken another step on that path. Keep going. This is Stoicism Reborn. Like the video if it spoke to your soul. Comment your biggest shift below, and subscribe for more fire to sharpen your mind and forge your character. You were not born to be ruled by emotion. You were born to rise above it. Let's rise.